Welcome to Desert Mountain Fine Art. We're here today with BC Nowlin. So excited to have his work. Well, obviously, I mean, who wouldn't be? Where are you from?
I'm from between Santa Fe and Albuquerque, New Mexico. Been there all my life.
Really?
I like the area. I have a separate studio over in the Ozarks, about 800 miles from home, but basically I spent most of my life up and down the Rio Grande Valley, New Mexico.
Oh, cool. Well, welcome to Scottsdale.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're so, I mean, everybody here has been so excited to have your work in kind of our home area. You know, it's really getting great response. And I mean, one of the things everybody says when they look at it is it's just so colorful. I mean, how do you do that?
Well, I'm a immature painter. I love color. I want to amuse myself. Basically, I paint for totally selfish reasons. I love bright color. I love things to excite me. I paint things I don't really understand. I paint mysteries. I'm not the artist that can say this stands for this stands for that. I have no idea what's going on up there. I just love, I love the punch. I love the snap, the color, the life. I don't know if I've ever done artwork that didn't have a human being in it somewhere, because that's the other story with my work. It's one thing to have a wonderful landscape and an atmosphere, but I want humanity. I want the story of humans. And oftentimes they're the most colorful thing in the whole image.
So at what age would you say you did your first painting?
Oh, that's really early.
Color, right?
Really early. I started painting when I was about 12 years old.
Oh, wow, 12. Okay.
I borrowed my sister's bicycle. It wasn't cool, but it had a basket. And I rode it about 15 miles into town, into downtown Albuquerque, to find an art store. And I found an art store, and I asked, what do people do? How do they do this oil painting thing? Because I wanted to go to oils. I had already worked in chalks. I was done with chalks. And I got the little artist starter kit with the 6 colors, the size of your fingers, you know, little tiny tubes, and some little tear-off canvases, and I was up and going. Yeah. And by the time I was in high school, I was painting 70 to 100 paintings a year. Wow. Because I wanted to. This had nothing to do with wanting to be an artist, because I never even thought about that. I'm just dying to see an image. And I was vaguely aware that I was getting, you know, good at this. And it's like, some guy can throw a baseball, I could paint. And I thought, this is cool. And I became competitive. I wanted to be the best painter in my school, best painter anywhere. I just wanted to. And about the time I got kicked out of art class in high school, which is my last blush with formal education in any way, I got picked up by a museum in Japan, had seen my work. Some art teacher put on a national tour, and I ended up showing in the museum. The museum in I'll think of it in a minute. It's a small city in Japan. They still have my work to this day.
Really? Okay.
I think it's Kyoto. Yeah.
Okay, Kyoto.
And so yeah, things were moving. I got attention early on. I basically, you know, I kept getting fired from jobs because all I wanted to do was paint. I was tired because I worked at night. I painted at night. I worked in the daytime. Or I worked in the daytime. I paint all night. Art came and took my life. Yeah. It pushed everything else out, because I just wanted to see an image of my own making. I don't use source materials. I have no sketches for this painting. There is no photograph behind this. This is my own approach. Wow. I want to create. So my artwork, I feel, is there's no reproduction to it. It is a creation in itself. It happened on the canvas, nowhere else. This was it. This was the moment.
And I think that's why your work's so well received. There's so much soul in it. There's so much. And why Native American?
Well, I used to paint. I paint basically. I think of myself as painting journeys. It's like the journey of life. It's everyone's journey. The Native American became sort of a muse for me. I grew up. My family's land is the southern border of the Sandia Pueblo. I mean, literally, my family's property is the other side of the Pueblo fence. And so I grew up running track with the native kids. We hunted rabbits the ceremonial way. We rode in pickups on certain roads the ceremonial way. This, to me, was the normal American childhood. I'm certainly aware now that it was not the normal American childhood, but I thought it was. And they were my friends. Yeah. And the cloaks stood for something. The way we held a rifle hunting little rabbits stood for something. And that ceremonial aspect permeated my life. I used to do journeys. I painted people on motorcycles on highways. Still do sometimes. Whole series of highways, motorcycles, people afoot, long rows of people afoot. There's something about the journey that really gets me. And eventually, there was an elegance to the native figure, to the native culture, which I'm still involved with, mostly up on the Pine Ridge Reservation at the moment. I've been involved with the Sundance, the Lakota Sioux for 30-some years. There's an elegance to it, and there is a history to it. But it's not a specific, this is not a specific tribe, this is not a moment in history. It's this open interpretation. I think we're all tribal people. We all come from tribal journeys, and so that's what I'm actually painting here. I'm basically an optimist. I'm a spiritual optimist.
That makes sense. That's what I feel. That's what I feel.
If there's any generality about what I do as I move from idea to idea, is that I'm painting something that lifts me up. I want to go over there.
Yeah.
I see a brightness ahead. I see something intriguing. I want to go over there.
There are these journeys, okay.
Yeah, I want to be in this place. I want to join these people. I'm still back here, but I feel welcome enough.
That's where you're heading. No, I love that.
I am asked constantly, why don't we see the faces? Why can't I never have a face turned toward the viewer. It stops the image. It gets too particular. And it's like, that reminds me of, my old girlfriend didn't like. That reminds me of old man so-and-so, I don't do that. This way, it's everyone's story. Are they young or old? Are they male or female? They are who you believe them to be. And I'm back here, and I'm approaching them.
Yeah.
But they remain somewhat aloof from me as the artist. I mean, as I said, I'm not the artist that tells you what this all stands for. I actually don't know.
And there's a piece of yours I saw that I thought, like, oh, that could be, I feel like that's me. I feel like that could be me in the painting. Like, I mean, heading off into...
that's the best response. That's exactly it.
I love that.
I want people, if a person spent a year or so with a piece of mine, they know more about it than I do. And they could call me, and I've had collectors tell me, we just saw such and such. And I'm like, really? What's that, But I don't think the artist necessarily has to understand their work as well.
Yeah.
You produce the work. It's a mystery to me. Years ago, I realized the less you know about this, the less you know what you're doing, the more interesting this is going to be. So I don't
like that approach.
I don't have my little directions here, like, I'm going to do this and do it that way. There is no sketch. There's nothing. There's no pencil work on the canvas. I remember thinking that I wanted to have this blast of light coming down, like a big rainfall. I didn't even know what side it was going to be on. Would it feel like the morning or the afternoon, east or west? How many figures? Nothing. I start with a rainfall and
go from there.
And let it evolve.
Well, the pigment in this, we'll do some close-ups on it just so everyone can see. I mean, your use of color is just so intriguing. And we're so honored to get to show it here at Desert Mountain Fine Art. We're going to get to moving on, but thank you all so much for viewing the video. Thank you, BC, for being with us here for the grand opening and for just giving us all this beautiful body of work. We're so excited to share it. And please come see us all at Desert Mountain Fine Art, see the whole collection, and we'll be seeing you soon.